Welcome to this special episode of Give Voice to Your Vision. Every year or so, I get a chance to talk with the amazing Derek Rydall, and he has a new book out. We have so much to talk to you about today about becoming irreplaceable in an AI world. And Derek is a best-selling author, transformational leader. If you don't know him, go find him. Here he is. He has so much goodness to share. Welcome, Derek. I always love our conversations. I'm excited for today.
Thank you, Michelle. Me too. My favorite part is the singing.
The singing. I've got a new song out. We can talk.
Vision.
Yeah. Me too. We share that love of music and songwriting. So it is an AI world. Let's dive in and tell me, what are you noticing about being human in an AI world today? To get our conversation started, ground us into what you're seeing.
What I am noticing is that well, I will say that, I've been on a journey for many years, as you know. I started off as a tech geek and a computer programmer and was programming how to break, I saw the movie War Games when I was a little kid with Matthew Broderick. And some reason I thought hacking into the government and starting global thermonuclear war with an AI was like really cool. And so I went home and built a program to do the same thing.
Nice.
And freaked my mom out and impressed my friends. And, then I saw Weird Science and I'm like, dude, we could make a woman and not have to have all the consequences. So I was looking for the cheat code to life. And then as I grew up, I got more into art and, into performing and more in the mind and the heart. And then I had a near-death experience that cracked me open to what I believe is the source of intelligence. And we've talked about that before, I think, with the community. I won't go into that now, but it showed me that there was a self beyond the constructed self, and that the self was already perfect and whole and complete, like a pattern in every seed. And that the world didn't give it to us, so the world can't take it away from us. And we alone have the power to create the right conditions for its emergence. And so I went on a journey of mastering the inner technologies, of discovering that we humans are the real superintelligence. And we're even actually the original AI. Ancient intelligence, ancestral intelligence, authentic intelligence, maybe even angelic intelligence. But our minds and our brains have been training on the metadata of the whole universe for millennia and building a large language model, quite literally, in our brain. So we're the original AI. We are the killer app the world has actually been waiting for. And I didn't have those words for it, but I knew that's what I was building. And then several years ago, before ChatGPT and AI became the mainstream, outside of the dusty labs of computer companies, I had a vision that downloaded, and the voice said, "Build an ark, the flood is coming." And it showed me what was going to unfold over the next several years with technology and AI and increased polarization and mental health and meaning crisis and loneliness epidemics, and that AI was going to exacerbate all of that. And also that it was going to be the greatest existential crisis we ever faced in terms of replacing everything that we had become identified with that made us valuable. This all came to me in a vision. And my first response was not to go out, by the way, to Home Depot and stock up on it. That was not what I did. I did not think I was actually a prophet. And I couldn't put two by fours together to save my life. But what first occurred to me is, why me? I'm not a tech guy anymore. And then again, what was very clear is you spend 20 plus years helping people, as I already said, to discover and to master their inner technology. Really the fundamental thing that allowed us to climb down out of trees on the savannah and shoot up into the stars. The same technology that allowed the mystics and the nomads in ancient times to already be tapping into all the secrets of the universe before a telescope and a microscope. Atomic theory, chemistry, string theory, these were already discovered before science was official. So it was like, we are the creator of the outer technology. And over time, through every industrial revolution, we've outsourced a part of ourselves, some of it to our advantage, obviously, but ultimately at the cost of some dimension of our own capacity. And, with calculators and GPS, we've lost spatial, cognition and memory and all kinds of things to be more productive and more optimized in this world. But AI now, the very stated mission of the hyperscalers, the people that are building it, is replace all human labor. What they don't say what that really means is replace everything humans have come to know is valuable about them. And or everything that has value in the market, right? And so that's what's happening, and it's happening faster than even the experts imagine. And they predict over the next 18 months to 24 months, 50% of all white collar work will be replaced. And that includes our work, the potential anyway. The anything you can do at a computer, that includes music. It's already solved music. You can produce music that sounds like it's radio ready. It includes movies and TV. You can already produce film that looks almost undeniable that it's real, and not for tens of millions, but for tens of dollars. And so that's happening across every dimension right now. The challenge is most people don't fully understand it or know what's happening. The future is here, but it's just not evenly distributed yet. So that's where we are. And I've been saying this to people for years. And, most people look at me like I'm just fear mongering or the Chicken Little. And, but I had the same prophetic experience before COVID came. And I said, something bad's coming, stay close, take care of business, get your house in order. People were like, what are you talking about? And then there was this little thing in China, and they're like, come on. And I'm like, the whole world's going to change, people. And, but I felt like a little weird. So I didn't really share that much, except to people. And this time when this came through, I said, I don't care if I feel weird or people think I'm weird, I'm going to share it. And I wrote a book about it that just came out as well, called A Whole New Human.
Whole New Human, yeah.
But the thing is so there's a lot of things out there. People are afraid of job loss, of economic challenges, of the internet is getting flooded with AI content, AI slop.
Afraid of what's real, not being able to tell what's real.
All of that's happening. And I talk about every single one of those pieces in the book, that the 10 evolutions we must make to survive and thrive, the way we have to evolve as humans, which is really about remembering and reclaiming who and what we really are, and the power
you are.
Exactly. So that's kind of where it's at. And the thing to understand is, it's not about competing against the machine. It's not about merely using the tools to just do more productive.
Crank out more stuff.
Right now, there's a couple million books published a year. That's going to go to tens of millions of books. There's a couple million podcasts. That's going to go to tens of millions. There used to be like 50,000 songs uploaded to Spotify a day. That's going to go to millions of songs a day. So you're going to see literally billions of songs and movies and content and videos and podcasts and books and trillions of websites proliferate. That's the flood. And you won't know what's real.
And it is a flood. You can't breathe under it if you're trying to swim around in it and make sense of it and categorize and all the things that we've been thinking we need to do or even want to do.
Like the X-Files, that show said the truth is out there. And that's not true. The truth is not out there. Stop looking for the truth out there. The truth is in here.
Yes.
You have to learn to live by insight more than eyesight. You have to become a Jedi warrior, a young Padawan.
Yes.
So that's what, and we can certainly open this up, but that's what started the journey. And it got me here. It was not what I was expecting, but I realized I had literally been in training for 20 years with my own life, through tragedy, tragic loss, losing a child, having a fortune stolen from me, dark nights of the soul, all kinds of challenges, to master this inner technology that not only allowed me to survive it, but every time to come back bigger, better, stronger, more abundant, more inspired, more passionate, more on purpose. And that's the power within us. And then I've been literally preparing and, coaching hundreds of thousands of authors, teachers, creators, entrepreneurs, etc., for this moment, for not just overcoming or getting through the storm. It's really important we understand this. there'll be a lot of people that'll just be trying to paddle or run away from the tsunami.
Mm-hmm.
This is also the greatest opportunity
Yes.
of our
Got
lifetime,
it.
maybe of all human existence,
Mm-hmm.
for us to awaken and claim and evolve into the humans we are really meant to be. Hence the title of my book, A Whole New Human. This is our moment to double down and triple down. And while the big boys and girls in tech are investing literally trillions in AI, we need to start investing our time, talent, and treasure into becoming the beings we've always been meant to be. And if we're willing, we can have a whole new renaissance instead of a dark ages. And if we're willing, those of you that are creators and entrepreneurs and thought leaders and change makers, or aspiring to be, during a crisis like this is when the new generation of all of these beings arise fast, not in decades, but in multiples of months. If you look back at COVID and you look now, the people that are the biggest thought leaders and change makers, or at least a lot of them, rose during that period. And this is going to make COVID look like a sneeze in the wind by comparison. So for those of you that have been waiting for the moment, waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel certain, you're looking for an invitation, I cordially invite you.
Cordially invited.
The evolution of humanity. This is your moment. Step in, get ready. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Yeah, don't even get ready. Just step in.
I mean, right now, on your marks, get set,
go.
Because also it's important to know, this is not fear mongering. Sometimes the prophetic message is get your what together now, because the opportunity isn't forever. Like there's a real window and it's closing. And it's going to get so noisy and crowded and confusing, and there's going to be so many people overwhelmed, if they're not already, that trying to get your voice out there, trying to give voice to your vision, trying to get a signal in the noise, it's going to become nigh impossible. You think it's hard now? It's going to be 100x hard in the next 12 months. So if you've ever wanted to, again, now it's go time. And you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. We'll talk about what you do need to have to make you stand out, to make you be a signal in the noise. But God does not call merely the qualified. God qualifies the called. Meaning life is like, just say yes.
Just say yes.
And I will show you the way. Whether you believe in God or not doesn't matter. But if you just say yes to the yes in you, then it starts to emerge. As the Goethe poem says, when one commits, then providence moves, then all manner of seen and unseen forces come to your aid. Not before you commit. Not if you're going, well, when I'm clear, when I feel good, when I'm not afraid, when I don't feel unworthy, when I don't have doubt, when I'm certain it's going to work and I'm not going to fail, I'm not going to look stupid, I'm not going to lose my. No, you have to go, and all that stuff gets worked out along the way.
I love that. One of the lyrics that popped into my head in a song recently is "Run wild into the fog," right? Like you can't see, you don't need to see. And so talk to me about how frequency is my favorite word, my favorite language. How do we activate that frequency, and talk to us about what you're seeing or what you're recommending in terms of becoming that beacon, having that clear signal. That's my whole focus, is about like, how do we say, and it's not outside of us, right? It's like, how do we tune into that signal, trust it, bank on it, roll with it, share it, and what we're sending, and also what we're able to receive. So what are you seeing in terms of standing out in the noise, or what are you recommending people do to move forward in this noisy flood, as you called it?
Yeah, well, the first thing is, it's important to understand that our ability to have influence over ourselves or others is inversely correlated to how influenced we are by the world. So we have to be less influenced by the world, right? And the way we do that is we have to go all the way back to the OG self-help guru, the Oracle of Delphi, who was a woman, by the way. And she issued a warning. People don't remember it was a warning. And the warning was, know thyself.
Mm.
And why? Because if you don't know yourself, somebody or something is going to know you better than you do. And then guess who's using who? Guess who's zooming who? And so you got to start with knowing. That's the first principle of everything else. Like if a gardener is going to grow a seed, she needs to know what is that seed. And by knowing its true nature, she begins to know and talk to it and get to know it from the beginning of, when we first began to understand seeds and nature. What do you need? Like George Washington Carver, who was a mystic and a Renaissance man, he was the man who talked to the flowers. And he would talk to the flowers. What do you need? And he would fall in love with them. And in this love affair, the flowers revealed their secrets to him. And then he was able to invent all kinds of medicines and different things because nature spoke to him. So the same thing is true, as I said in the beginning, when I had the near-death experience, I discovered that everything comes from a pattern or a seed, and that includes us. The oak is in the acorn. Your destiny of greatness is already planted in a seed in the soil of your soul. But if you're looking out there for the world to give permission, validation, tell you who you are, whatever, you're going to miss it. You have to have the courage and the commitment first to ask, what am I really made of and made for? Why am I really here? What's really in me trying to emerge? And fall in love with your seed and talk to that flower, talk to that, whatever it is for you, a flower, a cat.
The idea, the calling on your heart, that thing that seems crazy, that
Yes.
what is that message that you want to do? Why do you want to go down this side of the street instead of that side of the street? Who cares?
Yes.
Just follow it. And
Yes.
people aren't living that way. We don't know how to live that way. It seems kind of crazy. I was just mentoring, clients on a call right before this. And I was like, well, what do you think? How does it sound to you? And we're so, conditioned, right, to try and figure it out, try and crack the code, try and do it right, trying to say it right. And there's no way to keep up. Right. There's no way to try and keep up externally. So you're saying, like, tuning into that, who you are, know thyself, and
there's
fall in
clues.
love with what's
Fall in
there.
love with that. Yeah.
That's something we can actually do, you guys. Like,
Yes.
I can work on that instead of how my hair looks or what my
website
says.
Becoming Instagram famous or something.
Right. So like looking for it outside. So you're also been talking about like this idea that I love about unconditional living, not making my decisions or strategic, how I show up, what I say, based on something outside of me, or sometimes even based on my own stuff inside of me.
Yes.
Because of that self-doubt or that I don't know, and what if it's not right? And this whole idea of bold expansion, right, is where that there's magic in it, and it's not for the faint of heart. But
correct.
It's
There's actually a line by Hemingway, no, not Hemingway, Emerson, who says, God will not do its work through cowards. And I like to say,
that's actually one of my muses. He said that who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying too. Right. So I love that.
And I like to say, you have to exchange your wishbone for a backbone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, it takes strength, it takes courage, and it also takes compassion, because it's not your fault that it's hard or it's scary. It's survival. There's survival strategies that you've developed. But here's the really good news. When I help people discover what I call the life code, there is an original code in you that no other algorithm can compete with.
Nice.
No AI, no other person. The original source code, the life code. And it does carry a pattern that is unique to you, that is irreplaceable. Meaning, when you know it and you have the courage to live it, there is nobody and nothing quite like it. And AI, because it does not have lived experience,
right?
It has knowledge and pattern recognition, which is a great tool. I'm not a Luddite, I'm not anti-tech.
Yeah.
But what changes a human being, what inspires, motivates, and moves a human is embodied knowledge, wisdom, which can only come from a human being. And your life's story is encoded with your life's work. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. Those wounds carry wisdom. The pain and the problems are the seeds of your legendary purpose. As I like to say, the workshop you've been living is the one you're meant to be giving. Now, whether that's literally a workshop or a book or a work of art or music or a business, Steve Jobs did
or a garden that you grow or a bowl.
Whatever it is, your life is your masterpiece. But when you know what it's really about, it blossoms. Steve Jobs didn't sell phones. People didn't wait in line all night long to get a phone. They waited in line to answer their call.
Wow.
Think different. And if you know Steve Jobs' life being given up for adoption, I believe, and all the pain and stuff, and he believed that technology alone wasn't enough, and he believed there was something deeper to life, a beauty and artfulness, and that was born of his pain and his wounds. And that drove him to create something and to think differently. That's what inspired people to be part of the Apple ecosystem. They were not buying technology. They were tapping back into a value system and a way of life. Same with Oprah. She didn't do a talk show. It was church. And it was a church to women who had been abused or had struggled or were overweight or felt like they weren't worthy enough, because that was her journey.
Yeah.
And that was the message and the frequency that was emanating through every show. That's why Oprah became Oprah and transformed the talk show medium. On and on and on. Any person throughout history, in any domain, or even those that you just truly admire that nobody else knows about, they on some level tapped into their life code, that deep wisdom and perception and point of view and taste and value system that is the message of within their messes. And that got embodied in their words, their work, their workshop, and ultimately their world. When you know how to do that, you become one of one. You become singular. You stand out. When you have understanding, you have a deep inner standing, and that allows you to have a powerful outer standing, and you become outstanding. You stand out. You have roots, but the roots are in you. I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know what I value. I know what matters most. And I've built the courage and the strength and the agency to tell the truth, to live the truth, to be who I really am in service of a worthy goal, no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what's happening inside or outside.
Right.
I love it.
You don't wait, as we said in the beginning, you don't wait to feel certain or confident. Those come after. And you don't even wait to have clarity.
No.
And I'll tell you, you want to have directional accuracy. You want to know, where is it I'm aiming at? What's the target? And in fact, the word sin is an archery term that means to miss the target.
Mark. Yeah.
So to miss the mark or miss the target. Yeah. So if you don't have a target, if you're not clear enough of where you're aiming, you're sinning. And the reason why that matters is we've evolved as target-seeking creatures. We need to know where we're going. And when you know where you're going, based on what matters most, not based on what's most convenient or comfortable, not based on what you should or shouldn't, not based on what's going to get you something merely from the world, which is all survival, but based on what's in me, that I know if I could, if I believed, if I trusted, if I loved myself that much, I would frickin' be aiming at that target.
So talk to me about calling. Yeah, like that's calling to me, right? Like that thing that, maybe it feels highfalutin to some people, or I don't have time for calling, but it has drugged me kicking and screaming. Or it's my compass.
It's also drugged you. It's drugged you.
Exactly. It's drugged me. It's, it's either my compass or my conundrum, right? It's like pulls at us, and the resistance to it, the doubt of it is exhausting. So you're talking about direction. How does that relate to calling? Answering.
So first of all, you've all been you've all been called, or you
Yeah.
wouldn't even be on this call.
Yeah.
And
If you're here and you're still listening, yeah.
you've been called. Yeah, if you're here and you're not like, this guy is cray cray, I am out. But if you've all been called, and the key is we have to stop letting it go to voicemail.
Yeah.
Right? Where the universe gets the message mailbox full and decides to call somebody else. So the calling, it's that it can show up in a lot of ways. It can show up as a burning desire. Desire means of the sire, or of the father, or of the creative principle, also from the stars. So it can be a desire, which is not a sign of what you have to get. It's a sign of what's in you trying to get out. Like,
thank you. Say that again. They say that again. Desire, because desire has, for so many, feels filled with yearning, right? So you just said desire is not
a signal of what you're lacking that you have to get outside. It's a desire. It's a signal of what's inside trying to get out. Think of it like a pregnant woman. When she feels the kick of the baby, that's desire for us. Now, imagine if she responded to that the way we do to desire, which is, oh, I don't have this, I want this. She was like, oh, I wish I had a baby. And she started to go out, try to have a baby and get a baby and make a baby happen. Pretty soon, those big men with upper body strength and white jackets would take her away. So because she's crazy. So desire is the signal. I'm in here. Let me out.
Yeah.
We live in an emergent universe. You've already brought everything with you, but it has signals. It's telling you who you are, not what you're lacking.
Yes.
And so when you see somebody and they're like, oh my God, they're amazing. If only I could be with them or have dinner with them or be like them. That is not telling you what you lack. That is a projection of your light shadow telling you what is in you trying to get out.
If you spot it, you got it.
Exactly. I think I told you this last time when I was wanting to be a singer and I watched this guy sing in church and he was hitting these notes. I'm like, oh my God, that's so amazing. I wish I could do that. And the energy and the freedom. And then I caught myself because I was becoming aware of this truth. And I said, no, thank you for showing me who I am. And I began to just own that, claim that, not try to make it happen, but just feel the feeling of the yearning and the pull, and then just be like, oh, thank you for letting me feel myself. And then I just continued to play piano and sing as I normally did. And within about a month and a half, I was on that stage singing like him, like years of work, poof, in a month and a half.
Yeah.
And even Michael Beckwith, who some of you know, Michael Bernard Beckwith, was at his church. And he was even like, whoa, where'd that come from? He was like, that's new, isn't it? I'm like, yes, you caught it. You caught the frequency.
Nice.
So, and I've done that with everything in my life. You know, I went from broken, suicidal, literally, to tapping into this energy and unlocking and going from 0 to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, dream homes, launching my life's work, not merely by working hard, which I'm not opposed to, but by starting with claiming and owning and remembering and standing in who I already am, so that we are not on our way to something. A branch isn't on its way to the tree. A wave isn't on its way to the ocean. A sunbeam isn't on its way to the sun. Everything is emerging from something. Awesome. You are not on your way to wholeness and abundance and success and love. You are literally coming from it. You are an emanation.
That's right. And fighting it and holding it back is what makes you sick and tired.
Fighting it, resisting it, or trying to get what you've already got.
Faith is here, and I know she's we share her acquaintance. We love Faith, and she bought your book. Can't wait.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, she remembers seeing you.
She was a big muckety muck at Agape at one point.
I think she's still there.
She might still be there.
She's doing, good
to see you, Faith.
Yeah, so good to have you here. And Cherry,
is it just a rumor though? Is it true now?
It's a rumor that Faith is here. Yeah. Cherry also said that what you were sharing was powerful. So thanks you guys for being here.
Hi, Cherry.
And if you have any other questions, feel free to pop those in the chat while you're here.
Boxers or briefs? You got to be silly, guys. You got to laugh now or you'll cry more later. So
exactly. Change your frequency, laugh.
Yes.
So we've talked about a lot of really powerful things. Let's bring it into some sort of tangible, what do I do next? How do
And
I
we're
learn
talking
more
about
about
what
your
makes you
work?
irreplaceable also.
Yeah, we want to talk about what makes you irreplaceable. And I'm also thinking about you talked about how we have this code, this unique source code, I think is the word that you
Right. The
used, or
life code,
the
the
life
original
code.
source
Thank
code.
you.
Yeah.
Life code. And it made me think of, so for years I had a singing performance studio in New York City and then here, and I was helping people find their voice, right?
Right.
Yay, Deborah, glad you're here. Deborah said, great chat. And there's a, it's signal is a tangible thing that's invisible, right? You can feel it. And your voice is as unique as your fingerprint, right? Like the way the muscles come together, the way the cells of your body make the chords,
Yes.
the way the air flows through it.
Yes.
And so there's, having the code, and then there's sharing the code, right? Like letting it come through. So I'd love to hear you talking about, how do we let it come through, right? How do we share the message? And how, so that audiences feel the difference, right? When we're broadcasting a pure signal, when we're that channel, when we're open and out of our way, versus when we're trying to get it right, or trying to figure out how to say it, or trying to make it make sense, and have them get me instead of, sharing, letting it come through. So what would you add to our conversation about that?
Yeah. So, and I know we've kind of touched on a lot of things. I'll pull a few things together. So
Great.
first of all, to answer the question of what makes us irreplaceable in the AI age, this age of disruption, thanks, Faith. What makes us irreplaceable? And we've talked about that. There is something about us, a code, a life code, a seed pattern, even like though every acorn produces an oak, every oak is so unique because of the conditions it's been through that have shaped and forged it. And so that's why your wounds carry the wisdom, and your pain and problems are the seeds of your legendary purpose. And the story you've been living is the one you're meant to be giving. And ultimately, it develops a presence. When you're present fully with all of you to the degree you
That's
are,
right.
and that's a journey, that's meeting all of you with love, with compassion, what you hold and behold and hear, eventually you can heal.
Yeah.
But that becomes an embodied presence, and that presence is the real gift you're giving.
Your presence is your greatest gift.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Give
it's the one
generously.
gift that keeps on giving. And it's the one gift that when I give you my presence, it helps you unwrap your own.
Yes.
And so
And
so
it can
that's
come together in the moment on a pinhead. Like all of a sudden that there's moments where people just shine through, right?
yes.
Where they're just relief of the bondage of self, and they're right there.
And it's not even like it doesn't have to look any certain way.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know it when there's an individual who's just embodied something. They've
Yeah.
embodied something real about their life, about themselves. And whether it's in the way they serve that coffee at Starbucks, or
Yeah.
whether it's you want to go back there because of that, and you may not even know why, or whether it's that favorite waiter. Or and I remember when I was a waiter and going through my growth and expansion, I wrote an article later how I stopped waiting and started serving.
Yeah.
And so when I started off, I didn't know what I was doing. I was broke, as I said, and I was wanting to live my life's work, and I wasn't sure what it was. And I had this near-death thing that showed it to me, but I didn't know. I didn't have a list. I didn't know how to promote myself. I didn't know how to get my voice out there. For all of my technological awareness as a kid, I had none. I was technophobic. I was a mess. But what I knew was this life code in me. I knew what I stood for. I knew what mattered. I was connected, and I was committed to building up that love affair with that idea or that quality or that frequency or that presence. So when I shared it, even though I might have fumbled my words, and if you look at some of my earlier videos, you'll be like, you kept those up. That's pretty embarrassing.
I do. I keep them all up because
I do too,
what?
for that reason.
Somebody died in the making of this video.
Something came through.
Yes.
You become a homing beacon in all the polished world of AI and whatever. When a real, authentic, raw, vulnerable, embodied human being shows up, you stop. You stop the scroll, you pay attention, when they sing a note, even if it's not perfect.
That's right.
That's not the most perfect singer is not the best one. Bob Dylan didn't have the best voice.
That's right.
Even Maria Callas, one of
Leonard
the great
Cohen,
opera
right?
singers,
Yeah.
was not the best technically, but she had something. And so when you have that, even if you don't have the list, even if you don't have the right words, even if you don't have all the know-how and look at all everybody else's stuff, even the best books that you love the most are not necessarily the best writers. There's a presence, there's a reality, there's a life force, there's a love force, there's a frequency. And that's what makes Oprah Oprah and not another talk show host. That's what makes Steve Jobs and Apple Apple and a phenomenon and not just another computer company. That's what made Harley Davidson a motorcycle, not a motorcycle company. It was a movement. That's what makes you irreplaceable, singular, not just in your work, when you go into a job interview or when you put your video on YouTube or when you put on that workshop. It's not the perfect shiny page. It's this.
Yeah.
And that's what also makes you resonant to every people in your everyday life, your ideal partner, your ideal mate. That's what can heal relationships, because when your soul is conscious, when you are connected to that, as it says, what does it profit a man if he gains the world but loses his soul? You can't find your soulmates if you're not shining your soul. They're like, I'm looking.
Right? Like,
all I see is
out
just
there.
people that look like everybody else. Oh, look at that one over there. I can see something. So that's what breaks through. And in the age of AI, where AI is going to do everything a human being can do better, faster, cheaper, there's only one thing that will be left. Because the question is, what's going to be a human for? What am I for? Answer that question. And you will find the one thing nobody, no authority, no AI, no economy can compete against or deny. That's how powerful you are. And out of mud, a lotus will bloom in your life. Out of ashes, you will rise. In the midst of AI confusion and job displacement and people disrupted, you will become a light, a force for good, a trusted authority, a homing beacon for your own kind. Again, I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew who I was. And somehow I went from zero to hero very fast. And I've been through, as I said, tragedies that would make most people give up. Lost everything twice, child.
Yeah.
And this isn't just about how to win friends and influence others and make money, although that will be a byproduct of it.
Good book in the 30s.
Right?
Yeah.
It was. This is about how to become more and more yourself. And I'll say one final thing and turn it back to you, because you mentioned this. What a real worthy vision or purpose is for, or goal, that direction, that target you're aiming at, to the soul, to the real being that you are, is not about having more possessions. It's about having greater possession of yourself. It's not about how much you do or have. It's about how much more of you it calls out.
Yes.
And so when you set a goal, if it doesn't scare the crap out of you and excite you, it's not the right goal. because the point is where it's expansion, right? Where it's hard is where all the profit is where all the opportunity is where the evolution is.
Yeah.
And
not necessarily hard to like get everything done, hard to find the courage to step.
Meaning whatever hard is for you.
Hard
like
is, yeah.
I don't feel confident. I don't feel worthy of it. I don't feel good enough yet. I feel doubt. I'm too tired. I'm too busy. I don't have enough money, time, energy. Whatever is coming up as the resistance or the story about why I can't, at least not now. If there's anything that says, when this, then I.
Yeah.
Just fill out that sentence right now, everybody. When this, then I. And then fill out whatever the condition is you think has to change, inside or out. Then I, what is it you would do? In fact, I encourage everybody to do that right now. When this, fill in the blank of the change you think has to happen first, inside or out. Then I, fill in what you would do and who you would be and what you would go for. Like when this bank account has more, when I'm in better health or have more money or have more time or my mother-in-law moves out or, whatever, then I will, when I'm sure and I'm confident and I'm secure, then I will write that book. Then I will launch my program. Then I will go have that hard conversation with my partner or my boss. And I will no longer be willing to lower my standards for anything ever again. Whatever that is, take a moment right now and share that in the chat, because this is at the crux. Whatever's on the other side of that equation, we can collapse that starting right now. Because again, all of the problems or challenges or limitations or lacks, they're not what you think they are. They're often the symptom of not living your true life's potential.
Expressing
right?
what's there.
Expressing it. This is why Jesus said, if you bring forth what is within you,
Yes.
what you bring forth will save you.
Yeah.
But if you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. And Brene Brown even said, unexpressed creative potential is not benign. It metastasizes. It becomes anger, grief, fear, anxiety, depression. So it's not, we've got it backwards. Whatever's the problems, if you focus more of your attention on living the vision and the life, that's going to start to transform and transmute the problems, and it's going to call out of you what's been missing, because whatever's missing is ultimately what we're not willing to be giving. As the poet Robert Browning said, we must open out a way from whence the imprisoned splendor may escape. We're the source. We're the answer. Now is the moment. We have to go. And you'll find, oh my God, where'd that inspiration come from? Where was stuck behind you waiting? Where'd that opportunity come from? It was stuck behind where you were waiting. So this is the ultimate weight loss program, WAIT. We're going to lose all the weight today.
I love it. I love it. We have covered so much. I love our conversations. We could talk forever. You have some resources that I'm going to make available for people here. Faith is asking, how can we share this? First of all, please feel free to share this.
Share the book.
Share the book. Share your review of the book when you're reading it, Faith, and share this interview on any of your social media platforms. I'm going to come back and make sure we're streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We'll come back and make sure Derek's got some really powerful free resources right now that you can access. So I'm going to come back and make sure them here. And there's some training coming up too, I think, where we can actually do some of this work with you. So I will make those available, and you're here in my social sphere. If you need me, just reach out. I'll DM me. We'll find it. We'll get you what you need, and I'll come back and do that. Will you tell us a little bit about those things? I know we got the Inner Wealth Activator and the Decoder. I want to hear about them so people who are listening can be sure that they come back and get those resources.
Absolutely. And for those of you, if you're resonating deeply with this, remember, again, that calling is absolutely for you.
Yeah.
But it's also for a lot of other people. Yeah. That there you are. Nothing comes into this world except as an answer to a need, a question, a problem, or a prayer.
Yeah.
And so you exist because there's something you're the answer to.
Yeah.
And right now, more than ever, millions and millions of people are asking questions and struggling. And so I like to think that we are ambassadors. We are ambassadors from the real world, ambassadors from love, ambassadors from heaven. And your mind and your consciousness is an embassy. Anybody that enters into your space, anybody that enters into your awareness are stepping into the embassy of love, of heaven, of wholeness. And so whenever you're sharing and engaging like this, just know you're an ambassador and you've been sent from a higher frequency, higher love,
higher you,
purpose, right? And sometimes that helps us to have the energy to do what we need to do, even when we're scared. When we know, some of us, we would step in front of a train for someone else, but we won't step out of our comfort zone for ourselves. Okay, so I just wanted to add that. Okay, so obviously you can get the book.
Yeah, definitely.
And when you get that, you go to the website. I'm sure you'll give them the links.
Yeah.
You can put that information, and I built an AI evolution coach that embodies the teachings of the book and of my teaching. So it's like having me coach you 24/7 to answer questions and all that. So you go in there, you can get all of that. Now, the tools right now that are available, the first one is the Life's Work Decoder. And basically, this is really powerful. When you take this test, it's like a 3 to 5 minute.
Found it. I'm going to pop it in the chat
Okay, great,
for the
great.
comments that are right here. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. When you do it, it's going to show you in a way that's going to most likely blow your mind in a good way, exactly the life path your journey has designed you for. It'll show you the primary archetype and the secondary archetype. And it will help start to make sense of what you've been through, because a lot of us heart-centered, spiritually minded, expanded, creative type people, we tend to be challenged by indecision, by decision loops, by starting and stopping and following brightly colored objects. Because
one of
there's so
those
much
people is here right now, and she did your exercise, and she filled in the blanks. Cherry did, right? When the fear of being visible in the world disappears, then I will show up as my real self. So yeah, we have these patterns, right?
So Cherry, just real quickly, I can already, man, I saw that. So just to take a moment and feel into your field. So that's beautiful. And here's how you can flip that. Right now, I can already tell you partly where your life code lies. And that is that you had a journey. The fear of being visible comes from trauma. And when you are willing to look at what that is and the story it's telling underneath it, if I'm visible, this will happen. Now, that is the workshop you've been living, and you've been trying to figure out a way to either feel strong enough, good enough, or safe enough to be visible. That's the first part of the journey. But if you can hear this now, the second part of the journey is you did not come here to become good enough, strong enough, or safe enough to bring your gifts to the world and prove that you can withstand the blows of life and be strong enough to withstand this. No, you came here to prove that when you are willing to be who and what you really are, life supports you, life protects you.
Yes.
That's what you're here to model. Now, guess who else has this exact same life code? Millions of people. And so
I'm a visibility mentor who has that code, right? And she's working with me. It's beautiful. It's so true.
You can turn that into, you can literally flip the script, and you don't have to have it all together. You can just share honestly and humbly about your journey and that will make others feel seen and feel recognized and feel safe. And then from there, you have already stepped out and made yourself visible, and bam, you're already off to the races. So beautiful share.
Thank
beautiful
you, Cherry.
Insight.
Yeah. And that, you know, the hardships you've shared that you've, you know, navigated through, and they do make an imprint on our presence, right? So like that gives a depth and a breadth, like as you transcend and transmute those, it comes through your voice and your face and your energy. So we don't have to say the words all the time, right? When we can show up with the presence of it and be available to the vulnerability and the wisdom, because Cherry's got some amazing wisdom to bring through too. And it's all part of the package, right?
Yes.
So beautiful.
It's what makes the package beautiful.
Beautiful.
And in art, a work of art, a work of heart.
Yeah.
And so we're not just healing our broken hearts, but we're healing our broken art. And it's a little art to art resuscitation. But your life is the art, but the art comes out of meeting all these places. No longer, you're done trying to fix and heal and improve yourself.
Exactly. Say that again.
Right? You're done trying to fix, heal, and improve yourself. You're not a problem to be solved.
That's right.
You're a great mystery to be lived, and a great work of art to be expressed, and a work of heart, as I already said. And it doesn't mean you just run around screaming and throwing whatever our neurosis is.
Or you can do that. You know, nobody
will. You can do that too. But it's important to know we are all on the island of misfit toys, but it's a misunderstanding. We are not misfits. We are here because we're not here to fit.
That's right.
We're here to stand out.
That's right.
And we're here to break stuff that no longer serves.
That's right. And it's breaking.
And so, you know, I like to say that it was a typo in the Bible. It's not the meek shall inherit the earth. It's the freak, right? So you have to freak out a little and freak in and get your freak on and let your freak flag fly.
I love it.
So let's talk about these two tools.
Yeah, I did share 2 tools. I found some resources for you guys. We'll come back and make sure you get everything and get the book, right? Obviously, there's so much value here. So
But you want me to briefly tell
yeah,
them about
tell
the
us what we
decoder?
got here. I found
So
our,
there's the Life's Work Decoder,
yeah.
and it's going to help you decode in about 5 minutes. And please let me know what you get, because so far everybody that's done it is like, oh my God, it all makes so much sense now. And that's the first part. You will get clear on your life path, your primary and secondary. You're also going to get a free guide on all 9 life paths and a training around that. All of that you get for free. And it'll show you what you're aiming at, because you need to have a vision, as it says in Proverbs, where there is no vision, the people perish. So you need to know where you're going. And then the inner wealth activator.
Yeah.
One of the biggest reasons why we don't go for it and go for it consistently is because we don't feel supported. We don't feel secure. We don't have a solid foundation. And wealth or abundance is rarely about the money. It's about what the feeling is we're going for. If I had the money, then I would be able to do the things for self-care. Then I would be able to not care what people think about me. Then I'd be able to do this, that, or the other. If you scratch the surface, it's not about money. It's about, it would make you feel secure or supported or more confident or more powerful or not afraid of rejection.
You would have.
Right? So this inner wealth activator is going to help you decode also what is the wealth program, the operating system you've been running unconsciously that is hindering, blocking, and limiting your ability to generate wealth and abundance and meet all of your needs in every area, no matter what the condition is. And this is not theory, folks. I'm telling you what I know. After 25 years, going from nothing to a lot, making a fortune while making a difference, helping many people on the verge of bankruptcy, you name it, to launch their life's work, to live a life and make a living doing it. But again, it's not about the money. It's about the consciousness and the unconscious program you're running. So when you take this quiz, it's going to show you which program you're running, which one of the wealth archetypes, the 5 archetypes you're living, and how to flip that and get that upgrade fast.
Right. Awesome.
And if you step in now, you're also going to be able to be part of the Awaken Wealth Live.
Yeah.
Coming up Friday. And so jump in right now so I can coach you personally on that call.
Yeah. Awesome. So good. Thank you for your generous time and expression and contribution and letting it flow. And I love.
In other words, you're intense, Derek. Thanks for being intense.
No, I love it. I'm like, welcome to my world.
I know.
We're not gonna tidy it up. It's time to get real anyway. It always has been. And so I really appreciate our conversations. And we need the real answers to the real tools, even though I say reality is kind of overrated, right? We created our reality yesterday. So be stepping into the truth of who we are and becoming who we want to be is right now. And you just did a beautiful activation for everyone here, whether they heard all the words or not. And we have opportunities to be playing in your world over the next few days. I'm really grateful for that and grateful for the work you're doing and for having you here. Yeah. So good.
So beautiful today, by
the way. See, and then he tells me I'm pretty and I'm like, geesh. Awesome. No, thank you. And you know what? That is presence, right? That's feeling joy and light and uplifted by this work that I get to host and do right now with you. And that's the power of stepping into the truth of who you are and doing brave things like, oh my gosh, I get to talk to smart, fancy people and I get to help people make money and I get to help people find their voice and I get to produce my music and I get to do those things. And they do come with that, okay. Right? Here it comes. Right?
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. Jump. And that's something that I've been cultivating in my own life for 30 years, but it doesn't mean that fearlessness, that fear goes away. It's not meaning being without fear. It's not letting the fear decide and not letting that discomfort decide. So
that's why it's called courage. Courage doesn't mean you don't have fear.
Yeah.
Courage means I'm afraid, but I know what the right thing to do next is. And I'm going to do it anyway.
Do it anyway. I love that, right? Courage from heart, right? It takes a lot of heart. Love you, love your work. So excited to
too, my
share
dear.
you. Thanks everybody for being here. I'll make sure that we get
Thank you,
the links
everybody.
to these wonderful trainings and gifts on every platform where we're streaming, and just give me a little bit to do that if they're not showing up for you. Somebody said that they weren't, so they're really powerful, and we'll make sure that you get them. We'll spend some time with Derek over the next few days if you want to join me. Thanks again for being here, and thanks everybody for sticking around for this episode of Give Voice to Your Vision.